Hey guys, SpinoDude here, and before we start the review, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the wonderful birthday wishes that you sent along. It was so nice of all of you, and the model I'm taking a look at today is actually one of my birthday presents. So Marvin, bring it out. Thank you, Marvin. So today guys, we are taking a look at this. This is the beautiful Papo Apatosaurus. Thanks so much Mom and Dad for getting this for me for my birthday, and hello if you're watching. Hi Mom and Dad. So yeah, let's get cracking with the review and take a look at this guy. Before we start taking a closer look at the figure, here are a few quick facts about Apatosaurus itself. Apatosaurus is a massive sauropod that lived in the late Jurassic period of Wyoming, USA. It grew to the massive length of 75 feet long and could weigh over 26 tons. It was an herbivore and it lived 154 to 150 million years ago. So let's start taking a closer look at this figure. So starting off at the head sculpt, you can see the detail packed in here is absolutely gorgeous as usual. Papo, you guys are incredible at what you're doing in France. This looks genuinely just like a lifelike animal. If you just blew this up to 75 feet long, it would just be like the real animal. That's how detailed this is. Look at all the finely packed scales, the detail of the eye and the glossy paint to give it the wet look, even the interior of the mouth, and bring that in. It's quite kind of dark in there, but you can still see how it's sculpted and painted. The color scheme on this guy is absolutely beautiful. It might look quite simple to some people, but just the brown color and the lighter brown underbelly gives it a really naturalistic look with a very faint blackish stripes. It's great. It really makes it look like really lifelike and just absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually at a loss for words at just how beautiful this piece is in hand. So moving down the neck, you can see some really nice wrinkles and baggy skin going down the neck here. And you can even see some veins in the scales and such. And it looks like some lighter, almost like rose-colored stripes going through the bottom of the neck there. So that's interesting, like dark rose color. There's not too many scales in the sculpt here, but the wrinkles in the skin and the paint job just really make up for it. It looks really lifelike. It's amazing. You can see how the tan color transitions halfway up the neck, but then it sort of just goes underneath when it hits the chest area. You can see the really muscular chest that all sauropods are thought to have. Really great toned musculature here, because you can see that the legs are supporting all the weight, all 26 tons of this animal. It's really tense muscles in the legs here. Really nice toning, nice wrinkles in the skin, very beautiful. You can see the feet here. If we get the camera to focus a little bit more, there we go. You can see that it included the thumb claw as well. And I noticed with people who do sauropod models, at least more recently, they've been stepping it up and adding the thumb claws to the models, because in the past that was one thing that people tended to overlook. So you can see on this side of the model, the skin looks kind of baggy. Because the head is turned this way, it's sort of stretching the skin on this side, so they've added, you can feel the ribs over on this side of the model if you rub your finger across it. So that's a really nice touch, I love that. You can see the bagged up skin from this leg pushing forward. And on the front limb, I should mention there are 4 small digits and 1 large thumb claw, and then there's 1 larger claw, but the other claws are fairly about the same size on the back. You can see more nice wrinkly skin and toned musculature going throughout. Very consistent color scheme, but it looks really nice. You can see the backbone. You can feel the backbone if you rub your finger across. They made it feel like almost lifelike when you rub your hand across. It's really great. You can see more wrinkly skin there. They added some white paint here just to bring out some of the marks in the skin. That was a great choice. Moving down the tail, even more detailing. I like the pattern. They have like lots of scales underneath the tail here. It's really nice. You can see the colors get packed together, and the tan color underneath stops abruptly and just goes into the striped and the brown. And then all of a sudden it turns into the tan color with the darker brown stripes. There's a fairly bendy and a flexible whip-like tail here on the end of the sauropod. And in real life, it's speculated that this was its defense weapon, its defense against predators. It would whip its tail at its opponents. So flipping over to this side, see, really look at this lovely curve in the tail. That is absolutely gorgeous. Wow, I'm really at a loss for words at just how beautiful this model is. Papo, you guys are amazing. Look at that, you can see the nice wrinkles in the skin there. Lovely baggy skin hanging down. This side is more stretched out because of the limbs are moving forward and the head is stretched to the other side. See the back leg there. Nice toned musculature. You can see the front limb there with the thumb claw on this side. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Here's the baggy skin around the neck here. I love the thick neck they gave it, because it really needs if it has a neck this long, it needs a lot of muscle to support it, especially with being such a beefy and weighty animal. I think they really gave the impression of tensing muscles to hold its head up. I think that's really great. So yeah, you can see we're curving around the side of the head here. I love the way the shaping goes. You can really see the skin stretching out on the whole model. And we're back up to the head sculpt we saw earlier, but we'll flip it around this side because we didn't see this side yet. Almost a different expression. If you flip it around this side, it looks a little bit more happy. From this side, if we focus there, you can see it looks more angry. And you can actually see more of the needle-like teeth used for stripping vegetation on this side. More than this side, actually. So as far as scientific accuracy goes with this model, I give it an A+. This is like one of the most scientifically accurate Apatosaurus models I've ever seen. I looked up these pictures of the skeleton and scientifically accurate artist impressions of what we currently think Apatosaurus looked like, and everything is good here. This is a 2015 model by Papo, I should say, so it is up to date, and the detailing is the best Apatosaurus model I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest right there, best Apatosaurus model I've ever seen. So yeah, scientifically accurate, A+, great job Papo. One thing I should point out about this model as well is that Papo says it is a juvenile, so it is not fully grown. Alright, time to measure this guy. Marvin, bring out the ruler. Thank you, Marvin. Alright, we have our trusty flexi ruler now, so we're going to measure this guy. So all the way from the curve in the neck here down to halfway down the tail, it is 1 foot 12 inches. So I'm going to leave my finger there because the ruler, slide this guy down and put the rest of it down from the tip of the tail, and another 6.5 inches. So this guy is over 1.5 feet long. That is amazing. Alright, for comparison, I'd like to bring in the Safari Limited 1996 Apatosaurus. Now I'm bringing these two together because I want to show the difference between the 2015 reconstruction of Apatosaurus and the 1996 reconstruction of Apatosaurus. This guy was recently reviewed on the channel. If you want to see the review, link is down below. So let's just get in and we'll talk about these two a little bit. Now the first thing I want to talk about are these animals' necks. So you can see in the 1996 reconstruction of Apatosaurus, it's very thin, tight skin around the neck. And yeah, that's what most people think of a dinosaur, they think of that, but when we bring in the 2015 reconstruction of Apatosaurus, very baggy skinned, lots of baggy skin. We can see that from modern animals, large modern animals like elephants. Their skin is very baggy in some areas, so I think we have some good insight into that by looking at modern animals. Next thing I want to look at is the front limbs for both of these animals. Now you can see that the toe claw is actually longer on the 2015 reconstruction than on the 1996 reconstruction of the animal, and also the toes weren't easy to move individually like fingers. Next thing I want to talk about is the tails on these animals. So 1996, just a long tail and just pretty fat tail, just used to support the animal. But due to more recent reconstructions, put this guy back here and get the 2015 version, very thin whip-like tail, possibly used to defend itself against oncoming attackers like a whip. So yeah, that's the difference between those two with the tails. Now the last thing I want to compare between these two animals is the overall bulk. So in 1996 I noticed what most scientific reconstructions did of the dinosaurs in prehistoric life. They just took the skeleton and put skin around it, and that's it. And they thought that was the appearance of the animal. But due to more recent reconstructions, we can more clearly know from other animal skeletons that there was lots of muscle and fat in animals, especially such a large herbivore like this who's basically eating constantly. It could probably eat up to like 3 tons of food a day. So there was definitely a lot more bulk on these, and you can look at animals like rhinos and elephants and hippos, for example. Their skeletons look much different than what the actual animals look like. Alright, for regular comparison, I'd like to bring in another great Jurassic herbivore, the classic Stegosaurus. This guy has been reviewed on the channel, link is down below if you want to take a look at that. And you can see that the Apatosaurus is quite small compared to the Stegosaurus, but it really makes up for it in length. And like I said, the Apatosaurus is a juvenile, Papo says. So, adult Stegosaurus, juvenile Apatosaurus. And I think those two look great next to each other for display. Up next for comparison, I'd like to bring in Papo's 2015 pterosaur, the little Tupawara. You can see he's downright minuscule next to this massive Apatosaurus. These two look great next to each other, and they're both from 2015, so if you want to get both the models from that year for Papo, then these two are the ones for you. And finally, for size comparison, I'd like to bring in Papo's massive Spinosaurus, our channel mascot. Link to the review for this one is down below if you want to take a look at that. You can see he's downright huge next to this. Now, this Apatosaurus is a juvenile, but I do feel that Papo's Spinosaurus is a bit oversized compared to their other models. But these two look nice next to each other anyway. Well, there we go, guys. That was today's look at the beautiful Papo Apatosaurus. I am still at a loss for words at just how gorgeous this piece is, and if you're a sauropod and even just a dinosaur enthusiast in general, I definitely recommend this piece from Papo, France. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.